fresh. Who's up, girl?
Welcome everybody. What's up, RNL?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Everything is good. Everything is lovely. Just chilling.
All
I,
right.
I
Say
see
what's
you
up
rocking
to
the same.
everybody.
What's up, everybody? I see Joe's trying to rock the same glasses I got. It's all good. You some blind folks here.
You know, we need to see.
Yeah. What's up,
Yeah,
D? What's up,
definitely.
DC people? What's up, man? You know, it's an honor. It's an honor to be on the Fresh Convos with you. So I'm looking forward to this, man. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, but you've been
Yeah,
doing a lot of things. You've been doing a lot of dope things, brother. And
but that's
me and
because of y'all.
my amphibian brothers are very proud of you.
Hey, man. Only way it can happen is because of people like y'all to motivate me, and you know, let's get the story going, man. Let's tell the story.
That's what's up. Let's start it. By Khalil, by
Jesus,
Swing.
man.
Here we go again.
Let's do it now, man. God dang.
Welcome back.
Hey, man. We have to give the commercials like WandaVision and shit. You know, let's go.
All right. So, where are you from?
I'm originally from Washington D.C., born of the Anacostia area, southern eastern. From a great family that resides there. You know, my uncle used to play in a rock band, and that was a inspiration towards us. And my mother always was a fan of music. So growing up in the hood, you know, one thing that my mom's always did was always played like music from Jeffrey Osborne, Hall and Oates, um, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. So a lot of them '70s grooves was really some of the first. The Earth, Winds and Fires was some of the first music that I heard to, and you know that I really enjoyed.
Hmm. So you grew up with like a lot of great musical background from family,
Yes,
right?
yeah. My family was heavily influenced in music. You know, I didn't even mention this. My grandfather was a missionary pastor at Lane AME Church. So you know, church music, you know, all that great stuff.
Right. So, so, and how about your brother? You have a brother who introduced you to hip hop.
Yo, first of all, shout out to my oldest brother, Sean McEwen. He pretty much is my like not only is my big brother, but I used to call him brother daddy because he was like the father figure in my life. I got a second older brother that's Donnie, and me and him we grew up in another way. So we could talk about that when we're doing pimping or some of our women. But with Sean, we're gonna keep it towards the hip hop music. He has always influenced me in educating me towards hip hop, man. Yeah.
That's dope. Do you remember what groups you heard?
Oh,
Well, he introduced you to?
Run DMC,
Okay.
NWA, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian. Uh, when the box was popping, a little French group called the Cookie Crew. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know about that. The Secret of My Success, one of the illest joints that you ever heard. You can look at it up now. It's called the Cookie Crew, Secret of My Success. By far, one of the illest shits that's still bumped. But yeah, my brother introduced me to a lot of hip hop. Stetsasonic, Redman. I mean, anything towards hip hop, it was coming through him. So shout out to you for that, bro.
That's dope. That's real, dude. Do you remember your favorite?
Yes, one of my first favorites was Stetsasonic and
Okay.
the hip hop band, and Public Enemy also was a very heavy favorite of mine because of Chuck D's powerful voice. But when it came time for me to buy one of my first CDs, it was Stetsasonics' second album, and I don't think people remember how terrible that was, but that was a good memory for me.
Was it In Full Gear? Okay.
Yeah, damn, you remember that?
I
Yeah.
love that album. That was a
Oh, you
dope
did?
album, actually.
No. Oh, okay. Well, uh,
They
yeah.
had like what songs do you remember off that joint?
Ghetto of the World. And it was that joint was so far. I mean, that was the main one that like stuck out that I used to play a lot and put it on repeat.
Okay. Because there was like talking all that jazz and Sally as well.
No. Okay, that was the second one. Then there was the third one. The third one that was unreleased that didn't get no love. That was the third one was the one that I bought. You're right. You're right. The
Oh,
second one
word.
was the second one was all that. I always thought that was the first one. You're right. That was the second one. They came out with a third one, and that joint was not up to par. That's why I was like, yo, you remember that? Yeah.
Wow, yeah. No,
The
okay, so I
third
thought I
one.
was the second. I was like, you bugging, yo, there's
No,
bad
no, no,
joints
no, no,
on
no.
that joint.
That third one. That's when hip hop was changing from like how the De La Souls and the Jungle Brothers was kind of running things to that Onyx B-boy. So if you're not throwing guns in the air, and
Right. So
you
it's more
talking some
coming
dreads
more
yeah,
like let's say more violent,
yeah,
violent or whatnot.
yeah.
Okay, I think I
If
know
you
which
wasn't
album you're
killing,
talking about. It's like the cover is with them doing construction.
yes.
There you go.
So there's not really too much gangster in construction when you got that, and then you got Onyx back the fuck up, and you're like, which one I'm gonna go to?
Word.
I would. That's a Sonic.
That's what's up. So what school did you attend?
Okay, elementary school was or elementary school. Shout out to that. Grew up around the way in Southeast, pretty much on some academic stuff. But I kind of got broke into the world when I went to Francis Junior High School. Francis Junior High School. Shout out to them, Dr. Fletcher, Mr. Wise. Dr. Wiseman. I went there because following my brother, he went there, and when I went there, I've encountered a lot of harsh realities, and there was two things you had to do. Well, a few things you had to do at Francis. You either had to be good at sports, fight, or Joan. If you're not good at one of those three, you're gonna be a victim. So
Wow.
good at sports, I was getting better in basketball. Fighting, I had to get my fight game up. But Jonan, I was a whiz on that. So a lot of people was like getting fried. Let me talk more about Francis now. I say my high school. Francis also was a school, I would say a magnet school for a lot of people in Northwest because you had the Southeast kids, you had the Northeast, Northwest kids, then you had the Latinos, so that was my first time ever coming across, international people. Our soccer teams was like champions. I mean, the soccer kids couldn't lose. We were losing football, basketball, but soccer, we killing them. Haman, my man Haman and all them, they're gonna hurt you. And then we also had the Bowling Air Force Base kids. Those were the military kids. If anybody knows, they would get shipped out to certain places. They was coming to our school, so we had a weird mixed gumbo of different classes, and then we also had like the drug kids. I mean, like the kids that were 18 and over, 21 and over, going to the 6th and 7th grade. So, you really had to learn the game. You can easily get beat up by people, so you got to learn your game real quick there. And plus, it was a super school that was based off of go-go, and I'm a hip hopper, so I went through hell there, man.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like, I mean, it was music, but then like, it seemed like gangs, like the go-go heads and then the hip hop heads.
When we was doing the questions, I forgot this situation. I don't think people remember there was a big beef in the 90s between New York and DC over like the drug culture. And through the drug culture, you had music being played. So for New York, when you go to parties, what they gonna play? Hip hop. For DC, what you gonna play is go-go. So being unbeknownst to that, I'm being a hip hop lover. I'm going against the grain, and catch little brothers of big brothers who's doing all types of illegal activity. They try to rep their city. So yeah,
Mhm.
I became a target. So I had many days where I had to fight, and like Francis Junior High, people know you have to walk about 4 long blocks till you get to the bus stop or the train stop. So people will be plotting on you on your way to school and home.
Yeah, now it was crazy at one time. Well, this is probably before because they used go-go in hip hop. You
Yes.
remember Kid and Play, rolling with
Yeah.
Kid and Play, then you got Salt and Pepper.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, it was accepted, but then but then they stopped doing it. So you
Well,
remember
you
there
also
was like
you got to
there was a
remember
time where people, I mean, in New York, we're using go-go, as samples. And
all the time. I mean, I always thought that go-go was accepted worldwide. I mean,
right.
let's get this straight. I love go-go music as far as going to the go-go party. See, now that's where my other brother coming to play, Donald Plush. He took me to go-go's, and I understood why I loved it because you was dancing and grinding on women, photoging, whatever the hell you want to call it, and
Hmm.
having a good time. Listening
Right.
to it, because they'll redo songs. But that was a main staple in DC where if anybody, New York or Cali or from the South, well, let's say Houston, because it was very few from the South. So Houston will come and rap. They had to do a go-go version to pay homage to DC at the Capitol Center, at the Ritz, at all the hot spots. So it wasn't like I wasn't aware of it. It was just my ear was more tuned to sample based, like and what hip hop was doing.
Right. 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 Understandable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, man. Interesting. That's a very interesting topic, actually.
Yes.
For DC because I mean, when I lived in DC, I experienced go-go as well, and I love it. I understand why people love it, why people in DC love it.
Right.
It's more than just like a long shout out to all their families and friends and in
Mhm.
streets or whatnot. But there's that rhythm, you know what I mean?
Oh
That
yeah.
drum, that
Yeah.
drum,
Yeah.
that percussion is
Yes.
just like, it's danceable, like you
Yes.
have fun, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
I
definitely. But
remember.
I mean, I get it. It's like, I think at that time when you were at Francis, like, yeah, there were strictly go-go cats, and
Yeah,
there was
but
that
also
strictly hip hop cats.
too. Now there was very few hip hop cats because I mean the whole school was super go go. Just remember, I would go home if it was not my brother Sean. I'm surrounded like in the neighborhoods. That's all they play. That's all. You're Chuck Brown, Gucci Watch on,
Hmm.
um, Junkyard Band. The Sardines Drum, Northeast Groovers. I mean, you was drowned in go go. I mean, it was just like man, like anywhere you go. So once again, since I grew up with more melody influence, sample influence, the Jeffrey Osborne's and stuff, and the Earth, Winds and
Yeah,
Fire.
yeah.
So that's what my ear was tuned to. So once
Right.
again, it's not like I hate go go. No, I love go go. I love dancing to go go. I love what happens during go-go parties when you have a girl on you. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, let's do more. But my ear, when I'm just listening, my ear was tuned to more melodies and hip and the hip hop vibe.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
dope, man. So what do you remember? What group inspired you to rhyme?
Oh man, shout out to them. Souls of Mischief. Woo. 93 to Infinity. I remember when my brother, he would jump on this thing if he could. When he brought it home. And when he played that for me, it opened my eyes to the point where I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. I want to be an MC. And this was my 8th grade year at Francis. And the funny part, like he had like one of those old, I forgot what type of CD, I forgot the brand of CD player he had. So he'll get home later than me. So when I get home earlier than him or he goes out, I would take that CD and play the hell out of that CD so bad, scratch it up to no end. I mean, it was like, yeah, to put it back in the case. So then when he played, You'll try to play track one, that joint be jumping. You're like, man, what the hell you did to my CD? I ain't touch your CD. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So yeah, Souls of
That's
Mischief,
dope. Souls
93
of
to
Mischief,
Infinity.
man.
Yeah, they're,
93 till infinity. Word.
they're,
I
they're
mean,
right.
what, like when you first heard it, do you remember that? Like, what was it that intrigued you?
Okay, their rhyme patterns, the music that they was doing, and plus it sounded like it sounded like individuals that was my age, hip
Hmm.
hoppers that was under 20 or teenagers, and it was like the things they was talking about. And I remember the song that like really just made me say, "Oh my God!" Is um the name I call myself, where it start off, Adam is the man and no one can get live. Steez are pulling stunts like MacGyver, and I tried to, man, I could do that song all day. When I heard that, it was like, like there's moments in life where it's just click. That's exactly what happened. It just opened my eyes to a whole new world where I was like, I want to do this. I want to create something similar to what I call myself, a name I call myself. That, everybody love 93 to Infinity. No, my anthem is that song there. I mean, if you play that song at any time, you'll see just another side of me just go off. So yeah, it it,
That's
it was
real
so
dope.
powerful. Yeah.
That's real dope. So tell us about your experience at Duke Ellington.
I didn't even mention my high school. Yes, my high school was Duke Ellington School of the Arts. All right, so after going through all the stuff I went through at Francis, I found out, no, not found out, I always was good at art as far as drawing. That was just a hobby. I never looked at it as anything more. I love cartoon characters, comic books, all that stuff. So when it came time for me to go to high school, I didn't want to go to Coolidge. I damn sure didn't want to go to Anacostia or Ballou. So I'm like, yo, I don't know where I'm gonna go. So I was offered an opportunity to try out for Duke Ellington, and it was like, why don't you go for visual arts? Because I also was playing the drums too at Francis, and I was going to try out for drums. I used to play the 9 set, 5 set, and snare drum, bass, all percussion, symphonies, all that, just all that. So when I went there and auditioned, fortunately, they like what I like. They like my drawings. They saw I had some potential in visual arts, and I was like, okay, cool. Met the little other visual artists. And I'm like, all right, this all right. But when I saw the dance company or the dance department, I said, okay, this is where I want to
Mm.
go. So this is me coming in my not my ninth grade year, my 10th grade year. Yeah, my 10th grade year. My first day there, the school was like such an open freedom place because you go down one hall, you see children just sleeping on the ground, like white boys in the theater room, sleeping literally beside their lockers during class time. You go down this hall, you see other strange stuff. It was my introduction to cats having alternative lifestyles, if you know what I mean. Um, then lunchtime, we didn't have an indoor recess. You actually could go outside for lunch, like leave the campus, go wherever the hell you want for lunch. So I had all this freedom that was just powerful, and it's just like invigorating. And then at the end, not the end of school, at lunch, when I'm walking around just to try to check on the dancers to see, the dancers, whatever, I seen a group of guys in a cipher. One was Filipino with a little karaoke machine, and everybody was just rapping to Gangstar, rapping to, Tribe Called Quest, Electric Relaxation, rapping to things that I'm accustomed to. And I was like, whoa, this is like heaven to me. So Duke Ellington really opened up my eyes towards a lot of things as far as visual arts. And everybody that I met in that circle was very, encouraging to me, and then,
Right.
they encouraged me to go in the cipher and rap my little rap. And, my rap was probably god awful or whatever, but they really encouraged me. And at that time, it really meant a lot to me. And one of the people that definitely, showed me a lot of love was your brother Jason, aka Philly, man. I mean, yo, he
We'll get into that. We'll
yeah.
definitely get into that.
Also, and
But
also, hold on,
go
one more.
ahead.
And also, the father, a lot of cats don't give this guy props. The father of this hip hop thing for me in DC is Slim Cat, aka Zach, man. He's been a lot of things to a lot of people, but for
Mm.
me, he's also been like a big brother that has tirelessly been an example of giving till it hurts, you know. And I want to shout Zach out because he was another one that pretty much encouraged a lot of people, including me, to do this.
Do you remember the freestyle tape? The infamous freestyle tape? Go ahead,
Yeah.
speak upon it.
Once again, so you know, the Amphib. Well, at this time, everybody was just free. Everybody had their rap crews or whatever. We had like the Amphbns, and there was other rappers who wasn't Amphbns and stuff. And I remember that there was this freestyle tape that we had that we did in the middle of the theater department's back room. So when you go into the theater hallway, you walk down that hallway, and the hallway at the end, when you turn right, you're at the stage. If you go through this door, you're at like this practice room. At the end of the evenings, we could go there and sometimes perform, practice rapping or whatever. So that time they wanted to have this infamous, I don't want to say inner battle, but just a high school battle. And it was wild. I don't know how it happened, but your brother Jason was the main card. Shout out to my brother Khalil Gill. He was the main card versus Jason. Then if you go down the line, they paired MCs to MCs. On this tape was recorded. We recorded the whole thing on that tape. The funny part was it was almost like the main event. Then you had the junior welterweight event, and that was with I need to shout out another cat, Rashad Dobbins. He was another big influence of mine. He's an excellent MC. The one he raps now with Cornell West Theory. He's also go by the name of Scorpion. He also was in a group with Miscellaneous Flux. You know, he is also Amphbn and my brother that I love. Then there's two more cats I need to shout out. One who didn't participate in it, but he was paired up with this guy, Antonio Purnell. A lot of cats don't understand that he was he's somebody that I really thought was going to make it far as an MC because he could really rap and he really had a strong presence and he had influence on me too. I really loved it. So the reason why I say that because he was the second undercard. So you had like the top was Khalil versus Philly. The second was I forgot who was going against Rashad, but Rashad against somebody. Then Tony went against somebody, and then you had like the bottom feeder free card which was myself versus my brother Marvin Pre. That joint to me was terrible. I mean, we both was. I guess we had the winner of that one was like who was worse, me or Marvin, and I think I was worse. I'm sorry, you know, it was just stuff he was saying. The line that I said to him, I remember it was like, "You're whack, you're old, not new. They used to catch your moms out the Brooklyn Zoo," you know, say some dumb shit like that, and it was just. I mean, you can really play that tape, and it was so animatedly like anger, so. It was a lot of cussing and just, you so whack, fuck you. You stink, fuck you. You know, when you hear it now, you're going to be like, man, y'all was terrible. But it was just such a fun time, you know. But when you get to a place that you can actually experience that, you know, all you can do is grow from it, man. But it was it was such an infamous tape. And I know somebody, probably you, still got it. So if you want to use it as a ransom, go ahead, man.
Nah, I mean, you know, back then, I mean,
you know, back then, it ain't that far, man.
Plus, it was hip hop. It was hip hop at the end of the day, and whether you cursed a lot or not, it was like the early stages.
Yeah,
so,
man.
You know,
and it was like rapping with anxiety. So you know, you're nervous, you don't want to mess up, but you already mess up, so you're just like it was just raw emotion on both sides.
Word.
It was some beautiful art. So yeah, we'll say it like that.
Yeah, there you go. How did you meet Philly?
Oh man, so after he let's go back. So after the cipher and he bigged me up, you know, I just started gravitating towards him, see him walk. You're like your brother, what he'll do all the time, you know, he'll walk down the hall with a little boombox and you know play dope ass shit and play a lot of Tribe Called Quest, and he actually sounds like Q-Tip when you talk to him. So I was like, oh man, this dude dope. So me and him, we formed a lot of you know, some friendship, a great friendship where he became a mentor to me. I mean, he saw a lot of potential in me, and he helped me through a lot of things in my life. You know, like not just in growing up and not just being a rapper, but you know, at that time to be so young, we had such dramatic things happening. I had a fear of death. I don't know what happened. I mean, I think I was watching some weird ass Japanimation, and that shit just fucked my head up, and I was just off on something else. And I had an anxiety of, you know, why am I doing all this? Because we all gonna get old and die. So, you know, and I really had a. He saw that. He saw that I had like just a depression. So he actually helped me through that. And after he helped me through that, you know, that was my boy forever. So anything he needed, anything he wanted, you know, as well as you know, we would just always link up and hook up and do things. And also, he was also good friends with another friend of mine that no one really shouts out, Demont, aka Dwayne.
Word.
And if y'all don't know who he is, that's my man who used to chase pigeons and shit. But he also could rap, and he also could do capoeira. But he was always that other guy. I mean, he grew up in Southeast too, so for him to be good friends with Philly, that also just cemented us as a union.
That's dope. Do you remember there was a photo taken of you in Philly for a paper?
Oh,
You want to
God.
talk about that?
Yes. See, Duke Ellington also does this thing where it just makes you feel like you're such a star. You know, you never been at a school where during intermission, when you go from one class to another, they have a radio station where cats was actually recording themselves rapping, and you can hear it. So shout out to y'all for doing that. Shout out to Slim Cat. Shout out to Khalil. Shout out to Irwin. Shout out to Mr. Berry for allowing all that shit to happen. For me, I was always like feeling like I need to be better. I need to be better. So what me and Philly used to do, one of the things that we would do, we'd go in the hallway and practice. And there was a performance that was coming up. And I remember the photographer coming up to me and Philly and was like, yo, y'all dope. I want to take a picture of y'all. So while Philly was rapping, like, she'll take a picture. Then when I was rapping, she'll take a picture. So that actual picture, I remember, that's when me and him was tag teaming bars. And she like just caught a moment in time and posted us up on a picture practicing for a performance that was coming up. And it was, you know, to this day, it's some surreal stuff because when I look at it, I was so young and so just wide open.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
I have that picture somewhere around here.
Thank you. You got a lot of my memorabilia of embarrassment. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, of course, you know, I'm
Yeah.
Joe Villa. That's what I
Let's
do.
go.
Let's talk about the time you spent with Baking Soda, from open mics to talent shows.
She first shout out to Baking Soda. She's also a friend of mine that I met through high school, and you know, our friendship continued on even after. One of the not low points, but one of the difficult points in my life was when I didn't graduate at the same time as my peers. What happened was, people would know, I was also in some la-la land thinking I was going to get a basketball scholarship at Duke Ellington. I used to play basketball a lot, and I used to hook school a lot. But my grades was always A's, but DC public schools got technicality for if you miss a certain amount of days, and I miss easily 170, 160 every year. So, but I still got the job done. So when I had to go to summer school, a lot of us had to, and Beth was one of the people that had to go to summer school with me. And we bonded on like some real hip hop shit as far as we brought that type of hip hop energy to that school where the teacher saw, I forgot his name, but he was ambiguously gay. I'm sorry. It was terrible being with him. But he was a cool dude. But he encouraged us to do the rapping shit. So we had a talent show, and me and Beth we kind of ruled the show with me and her doing a freestyle session live just on the spot. And then that's when, you know, more of the confidence was growing. So while that was happening, every night we would go down to Bar None, where she was already a sensation and I was a newcomer. So she would bring me in there and everybody, you know, what's up, you know. And if anybody don't know, Bar None was a open mic venue at U Street where you would come in and you would either do one of your songs with DJ Munch and DJ RBI, or you will rock with the band called the Sound Poets. And those brothers had a lot of great music and a lot of great artists there. So I was able to sink in a lot of great energy from these people just because who I was associated with Beth. You know, things happen and time has gone and we split apart, but she introduced me to Bar None, and Bar None was a home of mine. And if anybody know about Bar None, there was a
Right,
lot
right.
of memorable moments there.
That's dope. Plus, she was dope.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hit her
She was very dope. That's one
way
person you would
in,
love
in,
to
in every
get
way,
introduced
way
by.
ahead of her time. In every way ahead of her time.
Right,
In every
right.
way.
Definitely, definitely. How did you connect with Khalil? And tell us about your experience in New York and Amsterdam.
Oh, shout out to my brother Khalil, aka Haran Gafran, aka Khalil Jamal.
Yeah.
He's a lot of things to a lot of people. Um, Once again, um, once we got out of like he was my friend in high school, and we was always cool. No big beef, but we would see each other, hang out, whatever. Khalil was always that. See, I don't want to say Kanye West because Kanye West is corny. He was always the little guy that would be wearing the polos and the button ups and stuff like that. So he had his little New York swag going, and I was DC swag, so I was wearing like the DDTPs and the Southeast gear. So he understood. We understood. He's a Northeast guy. I'm a Southeast guy. Cool.
Right.
So even after that, even after the high school thing was over, he was actually going to Baltimore School of Arts, and he called. We stayed in touch through the Amphbn website that we had. That y'all we used to do. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
talking about that. If y'all just see some of the posts that we used to do, so Khalil needed somebody to help him move a lot of his stuff from his house to the dorm, and I said, "Cool, I'll help him out." And ever since then, me and his friendship always grown, because it was almost like two sides of the coin. Yeah, you was Philly's mentor, and Philly was like not my rival, but my friendly competition, like Jordan and Kobe or LeBron and Kobe. So it was like we paired up so well together that we just started hanging out and doing a lot of things. And he also taught me a lot of, helped me through a lot of situations that helped me grow, and I helped him through a lot of situations that grown.
Right.
So when it was time to go to New York, after the passing of your brother, I couldn't go that time because my job was an ass and they was going to fire me if I was going to go. So every opportunity that I had to go to New York after that, I made sure I went just to make sure I see you, or I see what's going on in Route 4080, or I see all my brothers, because I always felt fucked up that I missed it, and it was because of my circumstances. You know what I'm saying? I know nobody holds it against me, but I hold that against myself. So Khalil knew that, and that's why we would always come up, like when we did that infamous photo shoot with you up there.
Yeah,
just make
on the
we go
roof,
up there,
right?
oh my God. I will always make sure I go up there to show love because you're my brother too, man.
Thank you.
From
Yeah,
Jason.
so you met Joe Villa or Joeytoofresh, the photographer.
I met Joeytoofresh. I knew Joe Villa. I knew Joe Villa over there by 31st and M around Georgetown when he lived there. Joeytoofresh.
Joe Villa, the MC. Joeytoofresh, the photographer.
Yeah. So let's skip to Amsterdam because that's going to be fun. So if anybody knows me, I am who I am. I do a lot of things and I have a lot of fun. Right. I went through a horrible breakup with my first love. So, your first love, breakup, the world is dark, gloomy, nobody gives a fuck about you. Khalil was going through his situation as well. And this is the second time he was going to Amsterdam. We already know that at this time, shout out to Steve O, a.k.a. Quixote, he's already there in Amsterdam. He's right. Like, man, you need to come, man. You can't be like this, man. Amsterdam will change your life. I'm like, man, no, life sucks and, all that bullshit. So it took him and my brother to kind of convince me to go. So when I went to Amsterdam the first time, I also went with another friend of mine who passed away, my brother, Russell Tolson. He was one of my best friends. when we went there, we was open to a whole new world. I can't even explain the whole new world that we was born in, that we entered. We was greeted by beautiful women, and not to try to fuck, but just to be friends. You know, they'll get mad at you if you cook. Like, let's say if I go try to buy me something to eat, they'll get mad at you. Oh, why you buy yourself something to eat? I'm supposed to cook for you, or I'm supposed to buy that. And you're like, what? What's going on here? Then he'll take me over to his hip hop friend's house. Oh, AKA CONVOS. Shout out to him. You get to pick whatever beat you want. What you mean, whatever beat I want? All these beats here. Whatever one you want, rap to it. And what? You know, like what? What is this? What world am I in? And then when you pick it, you get to go to the studio and record. So Amsterdam was a lot of dope things, man. And of course, that was when the red light district was popping. So, boy to a man, yeah, let's just say that. And it was just so flooded with hip hop. And then to top it off, I get to see Steve-O. And Steve-O's like, yeah, man, you know, he's speaking with an accent with his little beret and shit. So it was just such a mind blowing situation that I had to go back 6 more times.
That's really dope. That's real dope.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you did go, because, well, for Amsterdam, for me, the Chikima project came over to Brooklyn.
Right.
They did the whole Philly Foundation show. All 20 of them came, and they had to stay in my house.
And that's all they was talking about. They wanted you to be there. They was asking why wasn't I there, and they were so concerned about you. And it was just like, wow, this is like Amphbn family, you know, ongoing. So it was like, wow, this is so. It was so surreal. Yeah, it was just crazy, and just the love that they showed. That, you know, I made a lot of lifelong friends out of them.
That's real dope.
To this day, yeah.
That's real dope. Like, yeah, I would love to go there, visit them. I mean, I visited like way before I met them, but like, you know, it's a different experience.
yeah, it is. But it's a beautiful place. But, you know,
that's real dope, man. What does U Street mean to you?
Oh, Universe Street. That's what I call it. Universe Street. U Street is a lot of things. A lot of great memories. A lot of great hip hop entities. I mean, I saw the Poem C's there. I seen shout out to Priest the Nomad. You know, Infinite Loop. The Remains. Of course, the Amphbns. You know, spots like State of the Union, Republic Gardens. You know, the rival to Bar None was Capital City Records. And then, you know, I seen people grown up, and then all that has changed. And then you go to Bohemian Caverns. My Daylight family is there. A lot of hip hop venues is there. You go down the street, you got Lounge of 3. You go down the street from there, you got goddamn Velvet Lounge. You go down the street from there, you had the 1920 Hip Hop Club or Hip Hop Bar. So U Street is a lot of things that help create the hip hop side of me.
Yeah.
I do have one little problem. One problem that we had with U Street was that throughout all the times and everything, they'll shout out a lot of things like Freestyle Union. They'll shout out things like Infinite Loop, which they all deserve their greatness, you know. But one thing that I rarely saw was when you try to shout out Amphbns and people would not wear that as a badge, or people would be like, yeah, the Amphbns was dope. They would try to kind of shun it away because it's like, yeah, I don't want y'all talking about that because them motherfuckers was killing shit. So let's kind of suppress that. And it's like, nah, man. The Amphbns was a lot of dope, was very vital to the U Street sound. Where else would you go when you go to a performance, excuse me, and you'll see not just live MCing, but live production and live DJing. Shout out to RBI. Where else would you go to get the inspiration? And you see Slim Cat and others make beats while you have Khalil, Quixote up there spitting bars, you know, just off the top of their head, you know, inspiring other people. They inspired me. or cats like Eminon, aka Claude the Deer, rest in peace,
Rest in
just
peace.
torch a show, torch a show by himself, you know, and through that, they spawn to other things like the Miscellaneous Flux, Tim Hicks and
Right.
Rashad Dobbins, and Dirty Water, Claude and Joe D, and Khalil with Black Broadway. So, and also, oh man, he gonna kill me. It's just let's just say it's plenty of others that spawned off and kept U Street going. So,
Right. Definitely.
U
Definitely.
Street's a
I
lot of
mean,
great things, man.
for those that haven't been in DC, U Street was a very special place for all of us.
Yes,
You're right. It's hip hop. No matter where we did
universe.
Freestyle Union there, we did the Lifeline there,
Yes,
we did other events.
HR 57.
HR 57. It was just that street. There was something about that street that kept all the artists, all the MCs, all the beat makers, all the poets come together and just create and perform. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, so when you say U Street, I always have fond memories of great musicians, and even when things change, when like the Tower Norses came and stuff like that, they kept it going. A lot of people just kept it going, and shout out
Right.
to everybody that contributed something towards U Street, even if it's being a DJ, being an MC, a vocalist, playing drums. It's just keep that art alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, word. Definitely, man. Let's talk about Black Box Online. How did that come about, and what was your role?
Well, what happened is once again, this was during the early 2000s when things was changing, and I I grown from being an MC to wanting to do something more. So I wanted to create the same entity that Amphbns created for me, almost like an artist development and a place for you to go if you're an artist looking to expand. My brothers, Omar Torrance, who I went to college with at UDC, and his friend from Philly, Julius Armstrong, we all got together and we formed this thing called Black Box Online, where it was pretty much letting you know hip hop from our point of view. Um, we started in Norfolk, Virginia, and what we would do, we would grab artists from, let's say, Virginia Beach area, and we'll bring them up to DC to perform. And then we'll grab DC artists, bring them down to Virginia Beach to perform. And same for Philadelphia. And we was creating a lot of noise down Virginia Beach, but what we come to find out down there is that a lot of the clubs down there were owned by drug runners. So
Mm-hmm.
the clubs that we have deals with, it would one day be there, next week be gone because you found out it was a drug spot and they tore it down and burned it down for insurance money.
Jesus.
True story. So we had to continue on with Black Box Online and, also with the artists. Artists grow. They want more to do it. We do have a success story that I just found out earlier this week. One of our artists, her name is Lady T. She now hosts this talk show with Wu Tang. So yeah, she called me to let me know. So shout out to her. But yeah, it was just more so artist development in a tri-city area.
That's
where
dope.
we're just trying to bring things up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Break down all the albums you have released.
Okay. RNLification, Build a Better Brand. Then I got RNLification, Everything Has Its Place. That's me and Technology. Shout out to him. That's another cat I met in Amsterdam, and we are brothers like hell. He makes an awesome sound. I got a project with Tim Hicks. That's with the Dirty Church. I got all these one-offs that I've been doing. Like I did one with Bill Source. One game, only one game, and you can get that on Bandcamp. I got a link tree. I'll give you all that. But I do want to talk about another project before I did my solo projects. I was also in a group called FAR-XP, and
Yeah.
I did 2 projects with them that really should have got the light of day, but it hasn't, and I definitely want to promote that. And I know that's going to lead to the next question.
Yeah, so so go on about it. Far XP was a group, right?
Yeah, it was a group, and it was a movement.
So who was in
FAR
it?
FAR was an acronym first for standing for anyone ready.
Right.
But then what has happened? Shout out to these people first in this order. Tony Smith, he had this event with Kev Brown that he wanted me to be a part of. It was video games, boxing, video games, and hip hop. And the people that came was Artemis. So I knew Artemis all through the city. And when Artemis came, we had a freestyle session that was crazy. And, it led us to rocking this memorable situation at 18th Street Festival.
Right.
At the 18th Street Festival, we was not allowed to be in there. They chose who they wanted to choose, all well and good. But Tony at Yogi Records had a setup for us to go down there and rap. So we had all these J Dilla instrumentals, and the only people that came to rap in this cipher was Flex Matthews and myself and Artemis. For literally 3 hours, we freestyled so hard that the crowds at Adams Morgan Day or 18th Street Day left and was crowding around Yogi's Records. And we would actually literally rap about somebody who walked past us, what they got on, if they have a dog, gestures, whatever they're doing, we're rapping about it. To the point where the two stores, one was an Oriental Chinese food store, I guess, and the other was some teller. They both called the cops to have the police come and shut us down. So after I saw that, I was like, oh man, we got something here. So the FAR XP was formed that day. The original members was Flex Matthews for the F, Artemis for A, RNL for R. FAR. And instead of being a group, we was doing an experiment. So it was called the FAR experiment.
There you go.
So we tried to record music, and Flex had a busy schedule, so the FAR XP kind of became a duo with Artemis and RNL. So I can't call ourselves R, so I had to find another entity. So lo and behold, RBI comes up with a young brother named Fleetwood DeVille, who really impressed me as far as rapping, and he had a nice energy, and we asked him to be part of the group. So he joined. So right now, Flex, now it's Fleetwood, Artemis, and RNL. Flex come back off a tour, wanted to be part of the group. So now it's FAR with Flex Matthews, Fleetwood DeVille, that's the F, Artemis, RNL.
Nah, that's real dope.
Right.
That's real dope. Like, you did the new edition thing,
Oh man, hey, New Edition, Temptations, all that shit rolled up the
Yeah. They got a new member, but it's okay.
Yeah, so we got two projects that we did. Three projects. One is our original first album. Then the second one was a remix done by Unknown, and then we had the second project called The Expansion, which is a classic entity. You can get it online, Bandcamp. I'll send the links and everything, but it's definitely a classic. Please, if you haven't heard it, hear it. I mean, name another project that you got. Unknown on production, Odyssey on production, and Kev Brown on production on the same project.
There you go. Big up to Artemis.
Artemis
is in here.
The hardest working brother in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that. So you guys planning to do more as far as me?
Well, there's been talks, and it's always been open. The door's never been shut on that, But at the time, people grow up and people go their ways, and it's all love to them. So if we can get together and do it, sure. And if not, we still do guest appearances on everyone's song, so it's no problem here. Word.
Let's talk about your features and and collabs. Who were, name some artists that you've done songs with on their project.
Well, first, Artemis. One thing I will always give to Artemis is that, once again, hardest working brother I ever met as far as being a rapper. And he takes the art form to a serious level where I think a lot of people really underestimated him because he's so accessible. But rhyming with Artemis is a very tough thing to do because that brother will bring the metaphors, he'll bring the wit, he'll bring the skill set. So you got to have it high. And of
Right.
course, people also know that I have rapped with Prowess the Testament, one of the illest MCs in the game. And I feel that, nobody can touch the mantle such as her, and nobody can collab with her such like me. So that's just me.
Yeah,
Also, I did
she's
songs
dope.
with,
She's dope.
yeah, I did songs also with Khalil, of course, with Tim Hicks. Um, I'm about to release this project, because I have a love for producers, and my thing is always to find that diamond in the rough. So I want y'all to know this name right now, Mario Blocker, aka Black Mav. We got a project that we're doing together. Let me see if I can find that. We gotta put that shit. Damn. Oh, here we go. We got a project we're doing together, and it's all his productions. Yeah, here we go. It's gonna be called Mac Mav. So you can see. Yeah, I'm showing it the right way. Clear vinyl. Clear vinyl.
Yeah, you know,
So,
vinyl.
clear vinyl. So we got a project there. Once again, I did a project with Tim Hicks, and where I'm at right now is an undisclosed location, but I will let the cat out the bag. I have done, I think, one of my magnum opus projects. I just heard 90% of what I did with Unknown, and yeah, I don't think y'all ready for that. I don't think I probably can't release it in another year. That's how far ahead of it's going. Did guest features with my brother Priest the Nomad. I did guest features with Rashad Dobbins.
Pretty much all of DC.
I mean, all of DC, folks in Amsterdam. I mean,
Yeah.
name it. I mean, I'm supposed to be working with a joint with Casual and Homeboy Sandman, but
There you go.
That's another. I like to keep things hidden because, people don't understand. They're listening to us in
Are there
DC.
MCs that you like? MCs that you want to work with?
Okay, it's one MC I do want to work with, and I'm going to find a way to work with him. Redman.
Okay.
That's going to be a goal. That's a goal of mine. And shout out to Prowess. She got him to send me a happy birthday audio, but I'm definitely going to get a track with that dude. So I ain't even worried about that. So
yeah, definitely put that
Don't
energy
even-
out there. It's gonna come to you.
Oh, it's already out there. All I gotta do is just manifest it.
No doubt, no doubt. That's dope. Redman is very dope, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring.
Let's talk about your favorite MC.
Well,
And how did he influence you?
Well, Redman pretty much is one of my favorite MCs because, first of all, his vernacular, the energy that he has, and what stands out is his wit.
Right.
One thing I listen for MCs is their wit. When you're hitting metaphors and you spitting bars, you can always, I can kill you better than the most motherfuckers. But if you have wit where, you could say lines like, you remind me of my drunk uncle or some shit like that, that's what it's like, oh, okay. And then, other MCs like, once again, all of the hieroglyphics crew,
Right.
That's why I said Casual is somebody I'm going to get some work done with because he got charm, wit, and charisma. Another person I like because he broke down the pattern of rapping is Saphir. So if you notice, it's like a West Coast thing I'm loving. He's another one that has wit and shock value in what he says, so that's what I look for in rapping, and I take all those elements into myself. I don't ever want to be and let's just say the home team. If you got to ask me for my local favorite MC, Rashad Dobbins, Scorpion, by far. And I'll say the reason why. When he was in Miscellaneous Flux, he wanted to perform the song called Drop. And Drop was the first time they performed it. So I said, man, did you ever practice? Y'all practicing? He looked at me, he said, nah, man, it's not about practicing. He said, I want the crowd and myself to be exposed to it at the same time. So that raw energy of having anxiety or being nervous, and then you go out and you perform and you turn that energy into helpful energy to get you to perform motivated me to, I don't want to say I freestyle on shows, but you will rarely catch me do a show and remember my verse purposely. Or I will remember 80% of my verse and change up just to make sure you're paying attention. I don't like going to shows and seeing cats just nodding their head. I want to make sure you're paying attention. So I'll ping out somebody who look like they're dazed and they're just zoning off, and I'll freestyle about them, either good or bad,
Right.
just to get a reaction out of them. And if I get a reaction out of you, that's when I know I got you. So
That's dope, man. That is real dope. And yeah, Rashad is up there, man.
King Monster.
Dope, man. All right. What is your thoughts on DC and DMV hip hop today?
Well, the thoughts is, first we have COVID, boo-hoo, and everybody could put themselves in a position where you're stuck at home, gain weight, be on a computer all the time. But what has happened is everything has been stripped away from the outside so you can focus on yourself. So for my message to anybody about DC and what DC hip-hop is, DC hip-hop has always been great. It's always been something fantastic. I think we got stuck in being in a position that we were satisfied with that. And that was a gift and a curse. The gift of it is we kept the purity of making music the way that we feel instead of copying what's the status quo. Right. What's bad about it is that not enough people get to hear it. So if you want to kind of be different or want to be heard, you're going to have to leave. Now, the other thing about DC hip hop that's kind of is the cliques. We have too many cliques where if you are not down with somebody, they don't want to work with you or they won't support you. But if we decide to break all that down and try to just support each other just because you make dope music, we would definitely rise into a better place. That's why, once again, I give the shout outs to people like Slim Cat. He'll create opportunities for people to do that. He did that for Kev with Choice Cuts, where he had a pool of people just put money in just to support. We have to do more of that. We have to invest in ourselves and push our music outbound, because a lot of people, once again, are listening and they want to hear it, but we are going to be like, man, I want you to hear, like me, oh yeah, just listen to Artemis and listen to Amphbns. Everybody else, fuck them, because they're not part of my clique. Like, I give you an instance. One brother who's dope as hell and people don't hear about, my man Matter of Fact. All and right. He's a part of the group signed to myself. But nobody ain't checking for that because he's out VA. But I'm telling you, he got dope shit. But we need to push that. We need to push it more. So DC hip hop got to do a better job of just supporting one another. But we have some of the best music here, hands down.
Yeah, definitely. And that's basically the same for everywhere, too. Yeah. I mean, they've lost that support system in a way, because my experience here in New York, like, you would see everybody at each other's show to give them support. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's kind of because of egos and whatnot. It's just like it's sad.
just dumb shit where we need to do better and be a lot more mature if we want this to actually be a prosperous thing.
Yeah, exactly. But you're totally right. You broke that down, like, very good, man. That's what hip hop needs, actually, as a universal thing. It needs more support from our people, like, you know what I'm saying, to go to each other's shows, to buy merch, to do all this stuff, like, and be there for them.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's what's lost. But during the pandemic, there's no shows but on IG or whatnot. So
hey,
it's what it is.
I want to thank all 21 of y'all for staying this long. So yeah, support.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we'll get into this. DC has an untold history. Throughout your upbringing, what would you like to see unfold?
I would like to see unfold the people like Kokai, people like Head Rock, Black Indian, Amphbns crew definitely get their roses while they're there. You know, thank them for the energy that they put out there. The people like Terica June, the people like I could go down a list of Poem C's, definitely.
Right.
Sub Z, you know, just get their props for the shit they have done. Now that's one step. The other thing is for all you future MCs, all you youngins coming up into the game, learn your music, be proud of your city, but also, you know, don't be comfortable with just making music for this. Venture out. There's other places in the world. Go see the world. There's other places in the world that want this music, that want to hear what DC has to say. I mean, we have a unique system where we live in the capital city, not just of the United States, but of the world, but we live in the city of that. So there's
Right.
politics, and then there's going to be street politics, and then there's urban politics. That how do you live? Like, it's almost like, how do y'all live inside the castle? You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a unique story and a unique perspective that we all have that we don't tap into enough. Being inside of the castle where the laws are made that rule the land, how do you survive? What are your thoughts about it? And I think that's what we need to encourage. So I'm gonna challenge one person right now to step his game up. Yo, Nam, I know you're watching. Stop bullshitting. Step your game up on this rap shit. You're a dope MC. I want to see a lot more work out of you. You're the future of this, so I'm putting you on blast.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. What's your thoughts on the Amphbns collective getting back together after some years?
Almost like without sounding cliche, almost like a breath of fresh air. Breathe. It felt so good to see all y'all get back together again. Like it almost feels like it's full circle. I love the simple fact that everybody is working together in unison, and it just inspired me more to, if not do more or do my part, just make sure I have my shit together to help y'all out, because I wouldn't be here without the power of the Amphbns, without Slim Cat, without Philly, without Khalil, without Shatungwa, without Cyrus, without HL, without Beth. I mean, I'll go down the whole list, man. John Moon, Tim and Dobbins, Joy, all of them. Quixote. I mean, of course, Claude. I mean, I could go down this whole list of any and everybody on the Amphbns took their time to show me love and to help put me in a position to believe in what I can do and empower me. So I want to put that power back into y'all to help motivate and push y'all, help the world know that as much as you love a NWA or a Tribe Called Quest or even the Outsiders, you got to love the Amphbns, because they are a huge mark of DC hip hop. There would not be such improvisation as far as with the beats if it wasn't for Slim Cat, HL, and Trevor. It would not be so much creativity and lyricism if it wasn't for Khalil, Philly, Beth, Rashad, fucking Quixote. It wouldn't be unorthodox beats and patterns if it wasn't for cats like John Moon. So we need to thank y'all. We need to honor y'all, and and that's gonna be at least my part in what I provide with when I think about the Amphbns.
Yeah, that's dope. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, what's the
and-
definition? You can survive on any terrain, land, and flowing water. So let's do this.
So what's next for RNL? Any future projects or releases?
Yeah. First one, like I said, is with Black Mav, Mario Blocker, and myself, called Mac and Mav. Then I have another project I'm doing with Technology.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out. I already told you about the Secret Surprise Unknown, but let me throw something at you. I'm going to make a thank you project for anybody that supports the Black Mav joint. And one of the songs that we're going to be doing is a remix. And the remix is going to be an Amphbns only remix where I'm going to get the Amphbn members, yes, the Amphbn members to rap on the track with me just to show what y'all doing now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great that y'all got that project of what y'all did then, but we kind of need to show what y'all doing now too, as far as y'all can still hold that mic up. Now, I also got countless other projects on the side, one-offs, all these side groups I'm in. So, you know, I got a rock band I'm part of called Color School. Shout out to them. We've been nominated for a Whammy, so we may win that. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm going to do that you just have to follow my social medias and, you know, you get educated.
So there you go. All the Amphbns that are logged in, you heard it first here from this man.
Yeah, man.
He'll be hitting you up for some bars. So
I already
get
hit him
ready.
up. I hit Shamir. I hit Jerome. I mean Boogie. Sorry, let me do their superhero names. Boogeyman Ghost, Quixote, Khalil. So we got 4 right there. I got room for more, but I want motherfuckers to see just how dope y'all are. So we have to. So let's do this.
That's what's up. Yeah, there's like 30 of us. So
hey, Joe. Joe, I'm gonna need something from you, Joe. I'm gonna need some words from you, some bars from you, Joe.
Hit me up. Okay.
All right, y'all hear that? All right. And people know I said that beat right now while we talking.
So where can people find you on social media and purchase your music?
You could go to RNL ification because I see RNL is my short version or my abbreviated version. My official name is RNLification. So do RNL IFICATION. You can get that off of Bandcamp, SoundCloud, any of the social media's distributions from Tidal all the way down to Deezer, iTunes. Google's gone, so you can get it on YouTube, Reverb Nation, or better yet, you know, Bump That. Find me in the street. I'll give you my music. I have it on CDs in the back of my car. I'm about to take it back to there so I can get all the residuals, you know?
Word. Well, yo, thank you very much. This was a dope interview.
Hey,
and we're like so happy to have you on Fresh Convos. My brother RNL. Check out his music. Check out everything he does. He's a great brother. You know what I'm saying? I've known this guy for a very long time, and it's a blessing to have him here on this show.
And it's a blessing to be a part of the show. And all the listeners, please understand that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Joe Villa, his brother Philly, once again Slim Cat, putting in that work and showing that love. So, you know, anything from this interview that you take, just take that love that we have for one another and for this art form and support, but also help someone else out if you see somebody out there, man, because that's the only way we're going to make it. So, man, once again, man, thank you for this time, this opportunity. It's definitely been a beautiful expression. And real quick, while we just talking, I mean, just now, I just got hit up by the NIH about this MRI experiment I was doing off of freestyle versus improvisation. So you might have to have a Fresh Convos Part 2.
We will for sure, man. We will for sure, definitely. Yeah, like I said, go to amphbns.com.
Yes.
We got merch, Fresh Convo t-shirts. We also got Amphbn t-shirts as well. Also, a lot of videos, a lot of Fresh Convos content on YouTube. So subscribe on Amphbns YouTube. What else? Oh yeah, Philly's Lullaby.
Yes.
The joint is out now. That's the single that's out. The hot pink logo. So check out that song. There's a lyric video for that on our YouTube as well. And a lot more coming. Volume 2 is coming.
Yes.
I warn you, we have a Volume 2 coming. You
Heard it here. Yeah.
So that's coming up, and a lot more. Just keep in touch, and Next week on Fresh Convos, we got Cyrus
Yo.
from the Hibernation.
Oh man,
So
what's up,
that
Side?
should be a dope. He's a dope producer. If you don't know who Cyrus is, like, inshallah, like, cat is nasty. So
Yeah, man. Yeah.
yeah, man. So thank you very much. Big up to Slim Cat. Big up to Artemis. Earth One's in the place.
Ah,
Um, I
I
saw
love you, girl.
OJ Fresh was in here.
What's
I
up,
saw
OJ?
Bridge. Saw
Okay,
everybody
Bridge,
up in this
Bridge.
joint.
Oh, the whole family was here support. All right, man. Thank y'all. Thank you. Really
Word.
appreciate it.
Definitely, man. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right.